Hey everybody, it's Angie from Trips with Angie. I'm here on the Crown Princess and we have reached the end of our 15-night Hawaiian cruise, so it's time for my review. Hopefully you're a subscriber, so you saw the ship tour I posted a few days ago. If not, I'd love for you to subscribe and keep those notifications turned on so you can see all of our cruise tours, all-inclusive resort tours, food reviews, cruise reviews, all kinds of fun travel information headed your way right here on the Trips with Angie channel. Now before we get into the full review, I want to tell you a couple of things that went wrong on this cruise. First of all, my packing. I had no idea how cold this cruise would be. It was in the 50s. I have one pair of pants and this thin hoodie. That was it. One night when we were watching the Super Bowl outside, I had to go and get my robe from the room and put it on as an extra layer because I was so cold. So a little note, if you ever head out on a round trip Los Angeles cruise to Hawaii in January or February, bring cold weather clothes. Learn from my mistakes. Also, the weather was much choppier than I anticipated. I don't know what I was thinking. I was imagining this like beautiful, sunny, smooth sailing as we head over to the Hawaiian Islands. Nope, it was windy, it was overcast, it was cold, and a little bouncy. So keep that in mind. First up is the cabin. I'm going to give the cabin a 7 out of 10. We booked a mini suite, D232 Dolphin Deck 9, and it has a little bit of trouble, mostly just due to the age of the ship. So I love the layout of the mini suite. So it has two separate areas. It has this seating area with the television and then the kind of the bedroom area with the television. I love that the closet and the kind of cupboard with the shelves is right next to the bathroom. It makes getting ready so easy. It's easy to access. It has a light that comes on automatically, which is nice. So I love that setup. It also has a very large balcony. One issue with the Deck 9 balconies on this class of ship is that they're open. So they are not private at all. Every person on a balcony above you can see you. So just keep that in mind. It also means there's no shade. So if that's a problem, you might want to look into some alternative cabin categories as you embark on your princess journey on this category of ship. What did I not like? What did I deduct points for? The shower. The shower is so short. It is so short. I had to bend down to wash my hair. It was uncomfortable. It like basically comes up to here on me. It was bad. And I think it's because there was a bathtub. So that eats up some of the inches off of the floor, you know, for the base of the bathtub. But it's so short. It's so short. Not great. In fact, about a few days before the end of the cruise, I told my husband, like, I can't wait to get back to a real shower where I can just like stand under the shower head. So that's only a problem if you're over probably 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". If you're under 5'9" or 5'10", you'll think it's a great shower. It had terrific pressure. You have a bathtub. The cabin is also really showing its age. The furniture is older. The couch is really worn. The balcony has some rust on it. It's very clean. The steward's doing a tremendous job keeping it clean, but it's old. It definitely needs a refresh. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Overall ship condition, I'm gonna give an 8 out of 10. I can really see them trying. They are doing their best. This is an older ship. The ship has rust in different areas. It's to be expected, but they've redone some of the pool decking, which is nice. They've also replaced some of the furniture, but there's still some areas where the furniture is really old. It's starting to fade. It needs a reupholstery. You can just sense the age. But again, I think they really are doing the best they can. It's very clean and they're updating things as they can. So 8 out of 10. Casual dining, 7.5 out of 10. So these are those casual walk-up places where you can get food yourself, including the buffet. So the buffet is small, but it has a good assortment of items. The items don't change much daily though. So that was one thing I didn't really love, is that it was pretty much the same throughout the cruise, or I would say 80% of it was the same every day. Now, if you love those 80% of things, you're living your best life. If you want a little more variety, it makes it a little more difficult. The grill is great. They introduced this beeper system, so you can go up, order your hamburger, hot dog, chicken sandwich, tacos, get a beeper, and then go find a table. So you don't have to just stand around waiting till your order comes up. So I love that. You also know I love Princess's Pizza. If you're a subscriber and watch my Princess's Favorite video, I think it's the best pizza at sea. That is still the same here. So absolutely love that. The International Cafe was a little disappointing. Again, that was one of my Princess favorites, where they have different kinds of sandwiches, salads, desserts throughout the cruise. That stayed almost exactly the same. I was used to other ships where there'd been kind of a rotating sandwich, you know, so you could get a different sandwich every day, but it was pretty much the same throughout the whole cruise. Again, I would have liked a little more variety within the casual dining options, so that's why I'm only giving it a 7.5. I just think on a 15-night cruise, you want to see some different food items throughout the cruise. Sit-down dining, 8 out of 10. Now I'm going to be completely honest here, and we didn't eat in sit-down dining that much. We had a few lunches and a couple dinners, and they were all fine. It was exactly what I would expect on Princess Dining. There was nothing that wowed me, but there's nothing that I had to send back or I thought wasn't tasty. It was exactly as described. We just didn't really want to go to sit-down dining that much. We were having a lot of fun with the evening activities, the different games that were available in the Explorers Lounges. We had a little happy hour we went to every night. So we didn't really feel the need to go to the main dining room, but when we did, it was fine. 8 out of 10. Specialty dining, I'm not gonna rate. The only specialty dining experience we had was at the Salty Dog Pub, and I think the food was terrific, but it's very overpriced. But I don't really want to skew all of the specialty dining since we didn't eat at the Marquis Crown Grill or Sabatini, so I can't really comment on that this review. Entertainment, 9 out of 10. We were so impressed with the Hawaii program on this cruise. One of the reasons I love cruising Princess is I feel like you get a more immersive experience. They do a great job of bringing the destination on board. And on this ship, we were going to Hawaii, and I really felt like the 4 days of sailing to Hawaii prepared us for Hawaii. We had lectures, there was ukulele lessons, there was hula lessons, you could make your own lei. They had a ukulele player on board, Tiki Dave, where he would play Hawaiian music every night. So it really set the stage and really got you excited and ready to step foot on Hawaii, and I absolutely loved it. The bands were great, the live music was great, the cruise staff was great. They had all these fun activities and fun games they put on, games we hadn't played on any other cruise ship. They were very accessible. Just overall a wonderful time. The cruise director was Christoph, and we had actually sailed with him on the Emerald Princess back at the restart, so it was so fun to see him as cruise director, and he did a terrific job. There were a lot of hiccups on this sailing. Well, not a lot. There were 2 main hiccups. We had to skip Maui, and then we had a medical emergency on board, which changed our port time in Ensenada. And so the cruise staff had to really turn on a dime and come up with new programming. They did a great job with that. Now, the reason it's not a 10 is I just don't think the theater shows on Princess are the same caliber of what you find on Royal Caribbean or Norwegian with their Broadway style shows. It's just not quite that production level. But overall, again, we had a wonderful time. 9 out of 10. Service, 9.5 out of 10. Princess does the best job with buffet service out of any of the other cruise lines. You sit down and someone comes over. Can I get you an ice water? Can I get you a coffee? Can I get you an included beverage? They're not trying to give you a drink from the bar. They're really trying to go and provide you extra service to get those included beverages. There's crew members available to help you carry your plates back to your table. They're quickly clearing all of your dirty dishes. So they really go above and beyond in the buffet. And we really noticed that on the last cruises on other cruise lines when it wasn't there. So it made us appreciate it more on Princess. The crew is so friendly, and they really will do anything to help you have a wonderful vacation. In fact, we were sitting down in the buffet, and we happened to overhear at the table next to us that a woman was commenting that she had dropped her phone in the water. And one of the waiters talked to her a little bit about it, was trying to help her troubleshoot it, and then came back to the table with a bag of uncooked rice, because, you know, that's one of the things you hear, like if you drop your phone in water, put it in a bag of uncooked rice. He had gone back into the kitchen and gotten her a bag of uncooked rice to help out. So those are just like some of the examples of the way the crew is they just want to help you. They just want to make sure you have a great time. So 9.5 out of 10. The reason there's a half-point deduction is the scheduling of the crew needs a little bit of work. There were times where, you know, the Explorers Lounge was absolutely packed and there was one waiter walking around. And people are putting in Ocean Now requests. So Ocean Now is a program where you can go on the app, you can order a drink or food to wherever you are. And so people will get frustrated and then do an Ocean Now order. And so the waiter was trying to keep up with the Ocean Now orders, couldn't take any new orders, and it just kind of escalated from there. So 0.5 deduction for some scheduling mishaps. Value, 9 out of 10. I think we got a lot for what we paid for this cruise with the included activities, with the included entertainment. I think the Princess Plus promotion is great. The fact that you get your drinks package, Wi-Fi, and gratuities at a discounted rate provides a terrific value. So 9 out of 10. Overall, that gives us an 8 out of 10. When comparing it to newer ships on Royal Caribbean and Norwegian, and even newer ships on Princess, I think the fact that there's a little bit of rust, some issues with the cabin, some issues with the dated furniture, keeps it from being a higher overall rating. But in terms of the experience, the friendliness of the crew, how much we enjoyed being on board, I highly recommend this cruise. Just know to pack some warm clothes. But on to my review. So as usual, we're gonna go through the different categories. I'm gonna rank it on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being amazing, blow your mind, 0 being 10 being amazing, 0 being, I don't know, what's worse than staying home? Outdoors, 0 being worse than camping. Is that bad?